I'm concerned about impersonating hospital employees, the risk of danger to my staff and the doctors and the patients and families.
That doctor says 2 people posing as medical staff were able to enter his clinic and make off with his checkbooks and use them to steal thousands of dollars. Now he's hoping someone can track down the thieves. And vaccination rates are down as kids get ready to head back to school. Thomas Schultz joins us live with more on what could be contributing to the decline. Plus,
it's like inviting guests into our home. How honored that we can be to put on something like this as a tribe.
And later this hour, we're taking a look at how the Grand Ronde tribe celebrates its culture and heritage through its annual powwow. Your news at sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green. We have Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by right now. We're going to start you off with some weather with Rod.
Yeah, good morning. Not seeing much in the way of any sunshine out there, but this should go on to be a dry day, including you folks at the beach. Here, Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Looks pretty gray out there. 57 is your temperature right now. Some breaks in a mostly cloudy sky from Willamette Valley Vineyards in Turner, just south of Salem. But a little bit of early morning color, and again, we'll see partly sunny skies at times today. Portland currently 64, 70 at noon, and we'll get up to about 79 for your high. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. Let's get you out the door with a live look at the Banfield Interstate 84. In pretty good shape here. We're rolling towards the Hollywood District. No problems on that side of town just yet. Door number 2 takes us to the Sylvan Hill. Of course, getting busier there as well. But once again, here too, no problems. And the drive out of Clark County, as you might expect, a little slow, but not bad. 12 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Other drive times are starting to creep up a little bit, but so far, no major issues out there. I do want to highlight on these, or talk about these in just a couple of minutes. China, we've got the Steel Bridge inspections, the closure of Rocky Point Road, and Highway 26 Coast Range repairs. More on those coming up in about 8 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Listen to this. A local doctor is sounding the alarm after he says a person dressed in hospital scrubs slipped into his office and stole a number of checkbooks and cashed a forged check for over $2,000. John Adams brings us a story.
Dr. Mark LaGrasse is a pediatric cardiologist at a clinic near Legacy Emanuel in Portland. He says on August 12th around 1 p.m., 2 individuals came into his clinic. One was wearing a white t-shirt, the other person was in hospital scrubs.
The person in the hospital scrubs entered a door which normally is only allowed for patients and staff and started going into doctors' offices, including mine.
Dr. LaGrasse says the person was noticed by other employees, but wasn't thought to be an intruder.
She was seen by 2 of my staff who I think assumed she was there related to my activities, checking a pacemaker. And that person went into my office and went to my backpack and stole 3 of my checkbooks.
The 2 individuals then left the clinic. They were only there for a total of 7 minutes. Just 2 hours later, there was an attempt to cash a forged check totaling $2,300 from LaGrasse's checkbook. That attempt was denied. But the thieves were later able to cash a $2,000 check at a different credit union. The brazen incident has left LaGrasse fearful for his safety and the safety of his staff and patients.
I'm concerned about impersonating hospital employees, the risk of danger to my staff and the doctors and the patients and families.
He is also concerned that his home may now be broken into because the thieves have his address. LaGrasse hopes that someone can help identify who these people are and report them to Portland police before they strike again.
I think there'll be people in the community who will recognize these 2 and will say, hey, I know that person. So if they can, reach out.
John Adams, KGW News.
A Northwest Portland restaurant is out tens of thousands of dollars in the meantime after the owner says that a person hid in a closet for nearly an hour until the restaurant closed and then stole a lottery safe. So here's video of it. It happened last Thursday at the Mad Greek Deli. You can see in the surveillance video here, the suspect tries to take the lottery safe, but is unsuccessful at first. But moments later, they try to grab it again and manage to pull the safe up from the floor and walk out of the restaurant. We spoke to the owner of the restaurant who says the safe had nearly $30,000 inside. He also says that this is the second time lottery money has been stolen from his restaurant in 6 months.
Someone is willing to hide next to a water heater that's 200 degrees for an hour to come out while people are still in the building to take a safe from the property. There's no telling what they would do.
So the Washington County Sheriff's Office says that the safe was found empty in Beaverton the next morning. One person is dead and another seriously injured after police say that they were hit by a semi-truck. This happened just before 3 o'clock Sunday morning at Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Holiday near the entrance to the Oregon Convention Center. One person died at the scene while the other was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the semi kept going but was eventually stopped in Southeast Portland. Police are asking anyone with information to reach out. An investigation is underway in Hillsborough after a house fire sent 2 people to the hospital with serious injuries. It happened a Saturday morning on Northeast 4th Avenue by Evergreen Middle School. Firefighters were able to get the 2 people out of the home less than 10 minutes after the first 911 call was made. A second crew helped put out the fire. But 2 apartments were damaged and 3 people were injured, including 1 firefighter after a Sunday morning fire at Northwest 23rd and Overton. Crews rescued a man through a second-story window. He was seriously hurt with burns and smoke inhalation. A firefighter hurt his back while carrying him down. Another resident suffered minor injuries and was taken to the hospital. A dog and cat died in the fire. Gresham police are searching for whoever destroyed a portable toilet Saturday night. It was initially reported as gunshots just after 10 at Southwest Sandalwood Lane and 38th Street. Officers and the explosive disposal unit responded only to find that someone set off a firework in a porta potty. No word on any suspects right now. Meantime, hundreds of nurses at Legacy Mount Hood Medical Center have voted to authorize a strike after nearly 2 years of negotiations. Nurses claim Legacy Health is refusing to, quote, make meaningful investments in recruitment and retaining frontline caregivers. They've been without a contract since joining the Oregon Nurses Association in April of 2023. Negotiations began December of that year. One nurse told us that part of the delay was due to the now canceled merger between Legacy and OHSU.
Since that point, Legacy hasn't made a lot of meaningful forward progress. And so we did everything we could to try to compel them to get closer to us and to make some movement. But it just has taken so long, and the nurses were ready for action.
A potential strike date has not been set, but the union says they'll be ready to hit the picket line if they can't come to an agreement during 2 mediation sessions later this month. Legacy Health responded to the vote in a statement saying, in part, we remain hopeful that we can reach an agreement on our nurses, and we continue to engage in good faith bargaining with our Oregon Nurses Association. All right, we are just a few days away from many kids in our area returning to school, and recently experts have noticed a drop in vaccination rates among the youngest learners. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from Chapman Elementary in Northwest Portland. So Thomas, what are we seeing here?
Well, China, over the past decade, the Oregon Immunization Project found that vaccine rates are falling precipitously among Oregon kindergartners. Meanwhile, exemptions, non-medical exemptions for those vaccines are going way up. Last year, nearly 10% of Oregon kindergartners had a non-medical exemption for a school-required vaccine. That's a big uptick from 2015, when just under 6% of kindergartners had a vaccine exemption. Experts say the fall in vaccine rates already had a big impact last school year.
We've had the worst measles outbreak that the U.S. has experienced in more than 30 years. Measles is a very highly infectious disease.
Yeah, really infectious. Last year, the U.S. had more than 1,300 measles cases. And in Oregon, more kids are also not getting vaccinated for the measles. This past school year, the Oregon Immunization Program says more than 8% of Oregon kindergartners were not fully vaccinated against the disease. That's a trend that experts are trying to end. They say that every kindergartner, before they enter school, should get all those school-required vaccines that they need, not only to keep them safer, but to keep their classroom safe as well. China.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thank you, Thomas. And a reminder for you, the KGW School Supply Drive is going on right now. One of the best ways you can help is to give online. Just go to kgw.com/donate cash. And we want to thank On Point Community Credit Union, Safeway, and Rick's Custom Fencing for everything they're doing to make this year's supply drive a success. All right, headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather.
Hi, we have a pretty good day coming up. Good morning to you. We have seen some rain showers out in the Dalles. That was earlier this morning. Right there you see it goes. Right now you're dry and we're watching this thunderstorm activity, still producing lightning. up into parts of eastern Washington. Radar is also showing, if I stand this way, a little shower activity offshore. And we've been noticing that the coastal cameras are quite dark in terms of the overcast. Generally, with this activity expected to move north and fizzle, we think we get out of today being primarily dry. There's still the threat of some showers yet this morning popping, especially in north central Oregon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, the Dows, you are dry after that morning shower, and you're at 64 degrees. Portland, it's a mostly cloudy sky. We are at 64. Similar conditions down in Salem and also along the coast this morning. Winds are light from the southwest. Still 59 in Hillsboro, 62 Westland, 62 degrees in Gresham out the door, and getting ready to start your day with 60 in Kaiser and 62 in Salem. This will be a day very much like yesterday here on the west side of our state in terms of mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 60s at the coast, and warming well into the 70s up and down the Willamette Valley, but generally staying shy of 80. Here's the sunshine later today in John Day, Baker City, and LeGrand, all holding in the 80s. It's this area near to south to east of the Dalles that still has a shower threat going on currently. All right, Portland 7-day, 79 today, 80 tomorrow, and then 83 on Wednesday. So pretty nice start to the week, but then we get hot. 94 showing up right now on Friday and 94 showing up on Saturday as well. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. We give you a quick look at the freeway drive out there this morning. We're in pretty good shape in terms of what we would expect for this hour of a Monday morning commute. So let's talk about a couple of other things that may impact your drive later today. Steel Bridge inspections, a Rocky Point road closure, and a Highway 26 construction update. So the Steel Bridge, ODOT doing their annual inspection here. Every 2 years they've got to do this on all the bridges. The Steel Bridge, it's your turn this week. This will not affect bikes and pedestrians, but one lane will close at a time. The eastbound detour is going to be the Broadway Bridge, westbound will be the Burnside Bridge, and notably this will also temporarily impact TriMet service as well. A few bus lines and, of course, occasional stoppages of the MAX lines that go across the bridge. All right, in Northwest, Rocky Point Road closes starting this morning for 1 month as the county does some culvert repair. To get around that, Logie Trail Road is the recommended detour. And back to Highway 26 in the Coast Range. This was a topic that we touched on in the wintertime. A part of Highway 26 near Nickenicum, about 4 miles east of Nickenicum, it heaved earlier this year during the winter, and there was a huge bump in the road, right? ODOT did some temporary maintenance on that throughout the winter and spring. Now they're doing a more permanent repair, and so to do that, 4 lanes will be reduced to 2. They're bringing in some heavy equipment and whatnot to do some digging and some paving eventually. This is expected to take a month. And so you can expect heavy delays here. Monday through Thursday, 6 to 4:30 China, the speed limit through that area is reduced to 25 miles per hour until further notice. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Just any kind of medicine that helps fill your soul, what you need inside you, that's what we're trying to make here for everyone.
Next on Sunrise, a look at the history and traditions of the Grand Ronde tribe during their annual powwow. And it may be August, but local tree farmers are gearing up for the holiday season. A look at the weekend's Christmas tree and farm showcase coming up after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
The culture and traditions of several Native Oregon tribes were on full display last week. Photojournalist Aidan Brown takes us to this year's Ronde Powwow.
It's like inviting guests into our home. How honored that we can be to put on something like this as a tribe.
I mean, all in all, it's about making new friends, seeing old faces, and making memories.
Connection. That's what the people of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde aim to create as their annual contest powwow kicks off this weekend.
Their original powwows was to come together and share stories, share laughs, share goods and trading, share dances and experiences.
Anthony Quinnell has been helping to coordinate this connection for the last 7 years. But that wasn't always the case.
I was one of these little guys running around the powwow and seeing this powwow happen every year, and now it's my turn to give back.
Now, Anthony's own daughter continues to form her own connections.
I think I went to my first powwow when I was 3 days old.
She's 14.
No, it doesn't get old.
Her favorite part of it all?
Just all the people that it brings and all the connections you make with people.
But these connections run even deeper and are measured in years, not weekends.
My grandma, Pearl Samaripa, she was a women's Northern Traditional dancer, and she was my favorite dancer. And so whenever I'm dancing Northern Traditional, I feel like I'm dancing with her.
So, as the glittering sounds of jingle dresses fill the air and pounding drums shake the ground, the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde welcome all to join in the beauty of connection. Connection to people, the land, and community. Not just for a weekend, but for years to come.
Just any kind of medicine that helps fill your soul, what you need inside you, that's what we're trying to make here for everyone.
In Grand Ronde, Aidan Brown, KGW News.
It's the middle of August, so you're probably not thinking about Christmas trees right now, but local growers and sellers are. Oregon is the #1 grower of Christmas trees in the country, and from small U-cut farms to mega growers, Oregon is producing nearly 5 million trees this year. The Pacific Northwest Christmas Tree Association represents growers, retailers, and vendors of Christmas trees and related products. Their Christmas tree and farm showcase offers them a chance to get together and learn from each other.
Everybody has a little bit different technique. You know, there's experience from years and years ago, and it's just great to share that knowledge to, you know, expand on what we know, learn from each other.
This year's event included farm tours and classes.
My wife would say we need more noble tree growers in our area. Seems like we go to that's what we like. You know, they have the thicker branches and more spacing in between, you know? And it could be a struggle to find that many lots that sell those trees.
The perfect tree.
The perfect, yes. We want the perfect tree. Let's take a look at the update on Hurricane Erin. There she is. Let me get your bearings. Go Puerto Rico, San Juan. This is the Dominican Republic and Haiti. These are the Turks and Caicos Islands. And then you move up north in this area here, and you've got the Bahamas. So the eye is on the east side of the islands right now. And remember, the backside of the hurricane, much better spot to be in terms of calmer weather than the front or the east side. It is a Category 4 storm right now. Winds are sustained at 130 miles per hour. And the good news is Hurricane Center track has been confidently and consistently turning this storm up to the north and keeping it well off the shore of the U.S. How far off? This is nearly 400 miles offshore to the actual eye wall. So if that's true, and being on the backside of the storm, we would see some heavy surf from the hurricane, and maybe that's about it. But clearly things can change, and all eyes are tracking the storm carefully along the east coast of the U.S. Hopefully that forecast track is right, turns up to the north and the colder water, stays away from the U.S. and weakens. Here at home, low pressure system. This is the same general low development zone, if you will, that we had going all the way back to last Thursday and Friday, and fueled that disappointing for a lot of us bit of rain that we had Friday overnight. Thought we'd get at least a quarter to maybe a half. Ended up getting between 1/10 of an inch and even less than 2/10 in the Willamette Valley. That low, though, this morning is fueling some lightning strikes up in Washington. And right here, this is Gillum County showing a little new development of some scattered showers. This is expected to eventually fizzle out and not be here in Oregon as we go through the afternoon. The Dalles had some showers earlier this morning. So far, there are showers out to sea, but nothing being reported along the shore. This is Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 57 degrees, expected to be partly sunny at times today along the coast, and expected to be partly sunny at times today here in the Inland Valley. The view from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, all dry, cloud, 64. We'll go golf course to golf course out on the east side. This is Persimmon Golf Club out in Gresham, and you would see Mount Hood about right there, but you can see the cloud deck over the course is pretty solid this morning. Still a pretty shot up there as always. All right, temperatures outside right now. 61 in Kelso, 60 in Seattle. It's a dry I-5 drive up that direction this morning, and currently it's dry through the gorge, but again, there are those showers starting to pop once you get out into Gillum County currently. 58 degrees is your number out in John Day. Forecast numbers for the beach today. Mostly cloudy to partly sunny will hold you in the 60s, expected to stay dry, and valley numbers in the upper 70s with mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies developing and expected to stay dry as well. Vancouver and Portland each at 79. I've got us pretty nice through Wednesday. Wednesday 83, more of a bright day, and then we turn hot. We've got 94 on Friday, 94 expected on Saturday. Here's Chris.
Rod, we take you out to Gresham. Just getting word of a possible injury crash here on Northeast 181st and San Rafael. We've got a couple of emergency crews headed to the scene there. I'll keep you posted. That winds up being a major delay. The freeway on that side of town actually looks great still. This is Interstate 84. For perspective, the cars that are coming towards me, that's the eastbound drive. Westbound drive over there, that is zipping right along. So no problems on the freeway on that side of town. Door number 2 takes us to the Sylvan Hill. There we are definitely getting busier. As you can see, all 3 lanes are slow and go from there down to the zoo. No crashes reported at this point. It's just a busy drive. And the I-5 drive from Clark County, of course, slow and steady, making your way down towards the Interstate Bridge. At last check, the inbound Sunset's taking you about 18 minutes to get you in from Hillsboro to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Sunrise rolls on after this break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Now to your morning rush. Air Canada says it expects to resume operations after a strike by flight attendants. The union had urged members to defy a federal order to return to work, calling it unconstitutional. The order issued by Canada's Labour Board keeps the current contract in place while arbitration continues. Air Canada is urging passengers not to head to the airport without a confirmed flight. Well, maybe August, but you're definitely going to want to start budgeting for the holiday season now, because USPS says from October 5th through January 18th, it's temporarily raising its shipping rates. Rates will increase anywhere from 30 cents to $16, depending on the package. USPS says the move is meant to help cover extra handling costs during the peak season. And the U.S. Postal Service will soon release a forever stamp of former President Jimmy Carter. The stamp will be available starting on October 1st, which would have been Carter's 101st birthday. Carter died last December at 100 years old. And former Seattle Storm star Sue Bird now has her own statue outside Climate Pledge Arena. She's the first WNBA player to receive the honor. Bird is a 13-time All-Star, 4-time champion, and the only player to win titles in 3 different decades. Seattle also has retired her jersey and named a street after her. And that's your morning rush. Coming up, the family of a man who was stabbed to death in rural Marion County is still searching for answers 4 years after his death. Next at 7:30, we'll hear from his mother, who says she hasn't gotten an official update from police in over a year. Plus, law enforcement across the state are cracking down on seatbelt violations. We'll bring you some important reminders to ensure that you and your kids are safe in the car.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Monday morning drive, which so far has been relatively kind to us here across the region. We'll take you out to the Gateway District here, I-84 westbound, normal slow and go action there coming in from I-205. Plan on an extra 2 or 3 minutes there. The drive over on the west side, there's a live look at the Sylvan Hill, Highway 26, bunching up a little bit there. Right now we're less than 20 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. And anytime you can do that at this hour of a Monday morning commute, we're in pretty good shape, Rod.
Wow, thanks for the good news there, Mr. McGinnis. Good morning. We have a pretty good day coming up, very similar to yesterday. A lot of cloudiness around, but we should stay dry and comfortable. Cloudy skies currently over the state capitol in Salem, 62 degrees. Similar scene over downtown Portland from our Rose City camera. We are at 64. Now, we will be partly sunny developing at times today, so a little bit of sun expected. 70 at noon. We'll get up to about 79. Our 7-day is dry. I have us pretty nice overall temperature-wise through Wednesday, 83, but then we heat up. Right now, the weekend, Friday starts it off with a high of 94, Saturday follows, and Sunday could still potentially reach 90 degrees.
Good morning. If you were at Wallace Park over the weekend, you may have noticed an unusual amount of corgis. That's because dozens of people brought their corgis out for an annual Northwest Corgi Walk. The pups were taken on a 6-block walk before having a corgi fashion show. Wow. And organizers say the event is in its 18th year and is steadily growing, with more than 80 pet owners registering to participate. All the money raised benefits corgis with mental and physical disabilities through the Corgi Assistance Fund, as well as behavioral training for families who need the support.
I feel like this is like our second or third corgi story in the last couple weeks.
It was pugs. The last one
was pugs.
My
it's
mistake.
the corgi's time to shine.
All right,
now,
next week will be huskies.
Yeah, I like that.
And then labs.
Every
Yes.
corgi we showed seemed to know that a camera was pointing at them.
Yes.
They were all going like.
They're smart
like
dogs.
that. Yeah,
Very smart.
Very smart. We have a pretty good day coming up. Like Sunday, more cloudiness than sun overall, but we do expect to be partly sunny times. Radar's been showing some showers out to sea, but nothing inland. You can see the cloud deck really solid in Lincoln City this morning from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. 57 is the temperature there, and dry, but clouds over the city of Roses this morning. 64 is our number. So comfortable day. We'll look for partly sunny skies at times, especially as we get going into the afternoon. I have a 70 degrees at lunchtime, and then getting up to about 79 at 5 p.m. That would equal yesterday's high temperature. Here's Chris.
Humpy stuff for the third week in August. All right, let's get you out the door. There's a live look down there, the lower right-hand corner here of this box, showing you the I-5 drive through Wilsonville. That's getting a little bit busy, but so far no problems on that side of town. Westbound I-84, we mentioned this a few minutes ago, that is tightening up through the Gateway District. Not that that's all that unusual. Door number 2, I believe, is going to take us over to the Sylvan Hill. Yeah, that too is running a little thick, but once again, normal stuff there. 20 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough. A quick check of the I-5 drive, 12 minutes right now southbound from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. So generally in really good shape on the freeways this morning. I do want to let you know about this, and I'll talk more about the Steel Bridge inspections, the closure of Rocky Point Road, and the Highway 26 road work in the Coast Range. China, more on that coming up in about 8 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Oregon State Police are investigating a crash that killed one person and sent 6 others to the hospital. It happened just before 9:50 last Thursday night in Deschutes County, just south of Bend. Police are trying to find out why a Honda Accord heading northbound on Highway 97 crossed into opposing lanes and hit a Honda Odyssey that was heading southbound. The driver of that Accord was pronounced dead at the scene. All 6 people in the Odyssey, including 4 girls between the ages of 9 and 17, were taken to the hospital, many with serious injuries. Police have arrested a man they say pointed a gun at a family while they were in their car. Happened around 10:15 last Friday night near Southeast Stark Street and 257th in Gresham. The suspect, 25-year-old Hector Gomez Rivas, was booked into the Multnomah County Detention Center. Luckily, no one was hurt. 4 years after a man was stabbed to death in rural Marion County, his parents are still holding out hope for answers. In August of 2021, a suspect or suspects attacked Travis Jutton and his wife at their home. Travis's wife Hazel survived. We heard from Travis's mother, who says that she hasn't heard from the sheriff's office since reaching out in June, adding that she hasn't received an official update since last April.
It's extremely frustrating. Travis was murdered in a house that I was raised in. And I know that house very well. I know that area very well. I can tell you, no stranger walked into that house and killed my son. That just didn't happen.
Travis was 26 years old. A $50,000 reward is still available for the person who can give information leading to an arrest and conviction. A new women's transitional home and recovery center in Washington County is nearing the finish line. KGW's Jake Holter got a tour of the new 53,000 square foot facility.
So this new facility will be able to house 80 women and children from a couple months to a couple years.
So this would be commons area here.
Union Gospel Mission Executive Director Matt Stein giving us the grand tour of their newest facility, a recovery center and transitional home for women and children.
A place that exists that when a lady says, I'm stuck, I need help, I'm scared, they can come in the doors here and get the help that they need.
Fully funded by private donors, the $22 million, 53,000 square foot facility boasts 56 rooms for women and children in various walks of life. Rooms can hold anywhere from a single woman to a mom with 5 kids.
If I'm running from something, if I'm stuck in life, you can come in the door and get stable and then start to turn a corner and dream of your future. That's what we really want this place to be.
For those in transitional housing, you can still work at your outside job. For those in recovery, there are jobs inside the facility to help ease through the recovery process. The facility also hosts an education center, a children's activity center, a commercial kitchen, a counseling center, and a chapel.
Having toured it many times when it's just the frame, but now seeing all the finishing touches, I'm just amazed at how intentional the whole building was put together.
Over the next 10 years, Union Gospel Mission plans to offer more than 2,000 women and children a chance at new life.
Couldn't be more thankful that we have the chance to help and impact the Portland community and be one more voice saying people are cared about, they're loved, and they're okay when they're coming in with us.
And the grand opening for Union Gospel Mission's new Rock Creek facility is September 13th. Reporting in Rock Creek, Jake Holter, KGW News.
Your time now is 7:35. Today, the Kansas City Council introduced its camping ban. The ban would prevent camping in any park, street, public property, or areas vulnerable to wildfire. It would also ban sleeping on public sidewalks. First-time offenders could face a fine of up to $100. This ban comes after the Supreme Court's ruling that sided with Grant's pass over a ban on camping on public property. Now through the end of the month, police are cracking down on seatbelt violations. Law enforcement agencies throughout the state are also using the opportunity to educate drivers about seatbelts and child seat laws. If you drive kids, check your car seats to make sure that they are appropriate for your child's age and size, because in 2017, Oregon passed a law requiring children to ride in a rear-facing safety seat until they're at least 2 years old. If your kid is over the age of 2, they still need to ride in a car seat with a harness or booster until they're 8 years or 4'9", and the adult seatbelt fits them correctly. In Happy Valley, a historic cemetery has reopened to the public for the first time in more than 150 years. The Cristilla Pioneer Cemetery was established in 1852. It holds 29 marked graves, many of them pioneers of the Oregon Trail. The project was inspired by a longtime community member whose ancestry links him to one of the Happy Valley's founding families. It's a brand new feature to one of Vancouver's oldest neighborhoods. Over the weekend, the city held a grand opening celebration for the Elizabeth Austin Playground. Located at Fruit Valley Park, the new playground is the first in the city to be fully fenced and is designed to be inclusive to children of all abilities.
Actually, when I became a Parks Commissioner, this was my first vote, was to voting for the master plan to put this park together, which was essentially my old neighborhood. And so it's kind of like dear to the heart to me.
The playground's construction was made possible by a $1.2 million gift from the Cooney Foundation. It's dedicated to community leader Elizabeth Austin, who championed inclusive spaces before her death in 2021. All right, before we get to Rod, we're taking a live look from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort Skycam in Lincoln City. Looks pretty cloudy out there. Rod, Is that going to break today, or is it just going to be like that all day?
In the valley, I think we're going to be identical to yesterday. If you think back to yesterday, we were pretty much a mostly cloudy start. Then it went on to be kind of partly sunny-ish. I think that's the case in the valley. The coast, there are showers out to sea right now being picked up. We think those clouds have at least a 50-50 chance of also breaking up, especially in Lincoln County. We're tracking some showers still popping. Here's Gillum County. Earlier we had a shower over the Dalles, and we had quite a bit of lightning strikes just east of Yakima. So we're watching that activity, expecting that little ribbon of what's been some rain and thunderstorms to eventually fizzle out during the morning hours. I mentioned you folks in the Dalles, as you know, had an early morning shower, but now you've actually cleared out with the rain off to your north and off to your east. You're showing some blue skies, 64 degrees. Also showing some mostly sunny skies over in central Oregon. This is in the Warm Springs area. This is Kanita Hot Springs Resort. They're getting ready for a busy day, I'm sure. Their new hot spring pool, when we look at the camera, it's been pretty busy for this. I think it's the first full summer season they've had the new thermal pools open. They're looking at a nice, mostly sunny day. All right, here on the west side, we saw the cloud cover in Lincoln City, also mostly cloudy from Kelso down to Eugene. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s for most of us out the door. Bruno's our KGW dog of the day. Beautiful shot, a beautiful dog. Use that email address, dogoftheday@kgw.com. Simply attach your dog's photo and name, and we'll put your dog in the cube to become our dog of the day. That's Bruno this morning. Thank you very much. All right, this afternoon, we think it's sunny out east and mostly sunny in Central Oregon. Nobody expected to be up into the 90s today, so really comfortable Monday. 80 in Bend, 86 in John Day. You folks in the Dalles getting up to 80 degrees this afternoon, a little bit warmer than that probably. And then 70s up and down I-5 and 60s at the coast. 7-day forecast is dry, 79, 80, 83. So nice start to the week, but then we go 88, 94, 94, 90 to finish up the week. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. This is kind of a tough way to start off your morning drive. Not sure if that driver ran out of gas or what. We're talking about I-5 northbound. ODOT incident response here with this disabled vehicle on northbound I-5 just past the Fremont Bridge over in the right shoulder. It is causing a little bit of local northbound slowing, but obviously this hour of the Monday morning commute, your southbound drive is even slower, right? This is up near Columbia Boulevard. Your trip in from Clark County is up to about 13 minutes. Still not bad to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. A couple of traffic alerts to let you know about. Let's start off with this. If you are heading into the Oregon Coast Range, starting this week, ODOT doing at least 4 weeks of repair to that notorious bump near milepost 13. You may recall that over the winter, some heaving pavement caused a substantial bump in the road on Highway 26. ODOT's been doing some temporary fixes since then, but now the road gets a more permanent fix. And so while they're doing that, the 4 lanes will be reduced to 2 and the speed limit will drop to 25 miles an hour. That'll be causing some significant delays for the 14,000 of you that travel through the North Oregon Coast Range in late August and September. Expect those delays Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. until as late as 4:30. China?
Thank you, Chris.
It didn't take us long to get out of the tree line, and then you could see the clouds filtering through the valleys. I mean, you're just above it all. It's just beautiful.
Taking in the views with the KGW crew. After the break, we'll take you up Mount St. Helens with some of our staff.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
In case you didn't know, some of the staff here at KGW are big into hiking. John Goodwin and the KGW team have made an annual tradition to climb to the top of Mount St. Helens, and this year he's taken us with him. Check it out.
Okay, everybody, it looks like I'm telling a ghost story. I want to introduce you to the 2025 KGW Mount St. Helens crew. We do this climb every year. Where else in America, and let alone a news station, can you do something like this in the awesome place that we live in the Northwest? So hope you enjoy coming along on this climb with us.
This is the third summer in a row that a KGW crew has climbed Mount St. Helens. Our group of 8 started just after 5 a.m. Between the natural beauty and the history of the 1980 eruption, how lucky are we to have this in our backyard?
I like to think of this climb as 3 separate parts. The first part is about 2 miles through the woods. The next section is through a boulder field, and the final push is through a vertical beach, essentially, full of fine volcanic rock. It's hard to choose a favorite because they're all pretty miserable, but when put together, it's a perfect recipe for an awesome day.
By 7 o'clock, we begin rising through the boulder field. Anchor Christine Pitawanich was all of us, soaking in the views.
It didn't take us long to get out of the tree line, and then you could see the clouds filtering through the valleys. I mean, you're just above it all. It's just beautiful. You can see so many mountains. I mean, we can see Hood, we can see Mount Adams. I've never seen Mount Adams this close.
So we have one more pile of boulders to climb over up there. You can kind of see it. Some of our group is already there. And after that, it's just the final push up the scree.
It's only about a mile to the top from here, but it is the longest mile ever. A slog through volcanic sand is really a cruel way to finish this thing off, but here we are.
This is a rough slog. Just think about all the hard work you put in this summer.
It's a rough ending. There's nowhere, there's no technique, there's no way to make it better. You just gotta slog through it. Absolutely worth it. Definitely. This is insane.
Look at that. You can see like the steam. Holy moly. Wow. I have never seen anything like this. The fact that it's just blown out that way, I don't think I expected to see that. Wow, this is a payoff.
At about 8,300 feet, you reach the crater rim. Looking north into the blast zone with Spirit Lake and Mount Rainier beyond is a reward well earned by our entire crew.
And that is Mount St. Helens. Glad you could come along with us today on this epic weather day with a great crew. Hope it also inspires you to get outside and find your own slice of heaven in the outdoors. Till the next one, I'm John Goodwin. Let's get out there, my friends.
Would either of you guys do that?
I have done Mount Hood. I simply don't have the knees to do it anymore. I mean, I physically could not do it.
Could not do it.
So I did it in 08, and to their point, like it's like 2 hours of like the last little bit of sandy like footing. Like
That makes it hard.
You've got to be prepared for it. But to their point, the payoff is like the view up there is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they were up on you could tell they were on the crater rim. The jaggedness of it was
You look down, and you're like,
super
oh,
cool.
Don't slip.
Yeah. And a reminder that sadly the north side, the Johnson Ridge Observatory, that's still shut down, isn't it? Since when that bridge washed out.
That was like 2
some
years
time ago.
Yeah.
And it has not reopened yet.
Yeah, they've got some work to do to get that road reopened for
So
sure.
hope to get that opened in my lifetime. All right, here's a look at our rainfall totals from Friday night. So the forecast for the rain, let's backtrack a little bit. Turned out to be really good. We told you to expect a Friday that would be dry outside, some traces of rain. Check. We said Friday evening, I wasn't sure when the rain would start to pick up or not, but there was an increasing chance of rain. Chris shared he went to a concert and just had a bit of drizzle Friday evening, so that was great. The blown part of the forecast was the lack of rain total. So this is what came down in the valley. It started with McMinnville. And from McMinnville through Hillsboro to 5100 to PDX down through Vancouver, everybody picked up less than 0.2 of an inch of rain. I thought confidence was pretty high. We would at least get a quarter, and we had hopes to get 1/2 inch. So that was a bit disappointing. Astoria, though, wow. Rain basically stalled on Friday alone. You folks set a new record daily rain total at 1.46 for that date. And if you add what fell Saturday AM hours, you had over 1.5 inches come down. That turned out to be the big soak. All right, here we are. Same general vicinity of low formation going back to last week, still hanging out in the Pacific. And it is producing the southwesterly flow aloft that's sending clouds our way. And this morning has fueled some thunderstorm activity up into Washington. Earlier we had a shower in the Dalles. We still got a few showers that have been popping right here in Gillum County. We got showers showing up offshore, and we think the rain offshore stays offshore, but we do have really thick looking clouds at the beaches to start your Monday morning. Here is the mostly cloudy deck over downtown Portland from the Pioneer Park building looking over the square, and of course the old Pioneer Courthouse. 64 is our number out the door. Here are the other temperatures. So with the exception of those showers I pointed out in Gillum County, we're all dry right now. 57 in Bend, Central Oregon reporting some sunshine. John Day, Burns, Baker City all reporting sunshine as well, but it's cloudy for the most part from Portland up north to Seattle. Futurecast doesn't show much of anything. It does show clouds trying to break up a little bit later this morning and then into the afternoon. This does hold solid cloud cover for you folks up in Astoria during the day, so we'll see if that turns out to be true or not. Generally at the coast, we're looking for, same as the valley, kind of a mostly cloudy to becoming partly cloudy day with temperatures in the 60s there. The valley just a little bit warmer. Highs will be in the 70s. Southwest winds 5 to 15. Salem at 78. I've got Kelso Longview at 76. Battleground at 77. And then Portland 79. Maybe a little brighter every day tomorrow, 80, but a couple of very comfortable days for August to start the week. 83 Wednesday, and then you'll start to feel the heat. 88 Thursday. And it looks like we'll be up into the 90s on Friday and Saturday. And here is Chris McGinnis.
One trouble spot, Rod. We pick it up in North Portland. This is I-5 northbound, just north of the Fremont Bridge. ODOT incident responders there with a disabled vehicle. We'll show it to you on the map. The swinging wrenches there on my, not golf. I think that's an expression for golf. Anyway, that means some sort of broken down vehicle here on the northbound right shoulder, and that is causing a little bit of local northbound slowing. The southbound commute is actually in remarkably good shape here. This is live up near the Expo Center. We are zipping along right now. The trip from Clark County, not bad. 13 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. There's a quick look at the sunset. A little busy out near the Sylvan Hill. But again, all of these drive times are in pretty good shape for this hour of a Monday morning commute. 23 minutes now get you in from Troutdale on westbound 84 to downtown. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We wanted to remind you right now that the KGW School Supply Drive is going on right now. One of the best ways you can help is by giving online. Just go to kgw.com/school and click Donate Cash. And we want to thank On Point Community Credit Union, Safeway, and Rick's Custom Fencing for everything they're doing to make this year's supply drive a success. It is back to school season, and as you prepare your little ones to head back to the classroom, you might want to think first before posting that first day of school picture to social media. Marlon Martinez with our affiliate in Kansas City has more on the dangers that could come with posting your kids online.
Yeah, those back to school pictures have become tradition for families.
So I've got an 8th grader, a 6th grader, a 4th grader, and a 2nd grader.
For Emily Brownlee, the first day of school has always been about making memories and sharing them with friends and family online.
For a long time, it was to make sure that I keep up with friends and family, and that my family that don't live in town can see what my kids are up to.
But she says her habits have changed in the last few years as she's learned about dangers she never imagined, from predators using artificial intelligence to alter pictures.
There's a lot of interesting dangers that comes with that, where they can actually strip your children's clothes.
To strangers pinpointing where your child lives or even goes to school. Overland Park Police Officer John Lacey says it's a conversation he has with parents every single year.
I know it's tradition. I see it on mine. There are some people that are on my social media, and I look and I say, well, they got too much information. I've reached out to those parents. Hey, as a police officer and as a friend, you got too much information on there, and I explain the reason why.
His advice?
The first thing I would do is don't put the child's name on there. If you do put the child's name on there, only maybe their initials. The second thing I would tell you to do is not put the school, because they can figure out what school, what area that child is walking.
And Emily's tips:
if you want their faces in the picture, use an emoji or a sticker. I actually learned that from Mark Zuckerberg, because every time that he posts his family, his kids always have a sticker over their face.
Both Emily and John say it's not about skipping tradition, it's about doing it safely.
So what we want the parents to do is just to be a little bit more careful of what they post and how they post.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, the new details revealed about Brian Kohberger's cell phone as police release new documents from their months-long investigation into the convicted murderer. We're also tracking the latest on Hurricane Erin. What impacts are expected to hit the U.S. even if the storm doesn't? That's next on KGW Plus, live at 8 o'clock.